it really seems like a bad situation all the way together. I can't believe like this is going on between Miss Nene Leaks and Cynthia Bailey. So please like, comment, subscribe, share the video. It'll be greatly appreciated from the bottom of my heart. My peeps, my peoples, Peep Squad is in the building. Can you guys hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. But in any event, yes, the situation is going down. It seems like Nene Leaks is calling out Cynthia Bailey, basically saying that Cynthia Bailey is her stalker. Like, Lord have mercy, what is really going on with this situation? And Cynthia Bailey saying that she is done with the situation, point blank, period. So you guys let me know what you think about this. I was like, OMG, like this is crazy. Okay, so now you guys can hear me. I don't know what's going on. It is what it is, baby. My apologies for the sound situation, but I'm like, damn, we got Nene Leaks. She's here on Instagram, baby, and she's letting us know that she thinks that Cynthia Bailey is a stalker, and she wants Cynthia Bailey to leave her alone. Nene Leaks addressed the situation. And she basically is calling out Cynthia Bailey, and Cynthia Bailey is not backing down from the situation, point blank, period. Cynthia Bailey said, we were not in a good place with Nene Leaks, point blank, period. So we all chipped in and got her some flowers. So what's that mean, that you really didn't want to give her flowers, Miss Cynthia Bailey? What is going on? So basically, Nene's calling foul on some of the ladies and basically Cynthia Bailey. And she might be right in the situation because, Cynthia said, I didn't know what to do. We're not in a good place with her. And she said she wanted to do it out of respect for Gregg Leakes. You know what I mean? Just to respect Gregg Leakes, to sit down and have a conversation with Nene Leakes. If it wasn't for Gregg Leakes, she wouldn't have sat down and had any conversation with Nene Leakes, point blank, period. So who do you guys think is wrong in this situation? Should Cynthia Bailey have attended, Gregg Leakes' repast? Should she have been there? But in any event, she's responded to what Nene Leakes said on the radio station show. Let's check this out and see what went down. Let me know if you can hear.
Every housewife in the entire franchise, reached out to me. Nene Claudia definitely have texted me since Gregg has passed, and she has stayed in touch since then. So I would say that we are okay.
I don't want to name drop, but I would expect her to.
Who?
I would expect her to.
No. A lot of people expect that now. She didn't even come to the repast. She did come like a week later after everything was done. She came by my lounge. It's really hard to explain Housewives. It's almost like a dysfunctional family. But they all reached out. They all sent flowers or something. Actually, I was surprised because the first set of flowers I got was a bouquet from like all the housewives. Like they went in together. I'm like, why do y'all need to go in together and buy some damn flowers? Like, it's all of y'all work. You don't need to let's go in together and buy $200 worth of flowers. Like, you can spend your own $200. That's the way I've always been. During Gregg's passing, every housewife in the entire franchise, reached out to me. Nene Claudia definitely have texted me since Gregg has passed, and she has stayed in touch since then. So I would say that we are okay.
I don't want to name drop, but I would expect her to.
Who?
I would expect her to.
No. A lot of people expect that now. She didn't even come to the repast. She did come like a week later after everything.
So do you guys feel like Nene Leakes was wrong when she basically said she was asked out? Has Cynthia Bailey have been in contact with you? Was she talking to you? And she was like, no, she didn't even come to the repast. So what do you guys think about that situation? Dave Hart said Cynthia is a lot messier than we give her credit for. So in any event, so Cynthia Bailey, she responded to Nene Leakes. And when she responded to Nene Leakes, it was nothing pretty. Cynthia said, honestly, she was surprised by Nene's statement. And basically, she's feeling a certain type of way because Nene called her out, because Nene said that Cynthia Bailey wasn't keeping in contact with her. That Cynthia didn't call her, and Cynthia did not show up to the repast or to Gregg's celebration at all, point blank, period. And everybody is thinking that, but everybody called it out. Everybody was like, Mallory, she's there at, the Nene at NeNe Leakes' celebration for her husband passing. But where is Cynthia Bailey? Cynthia Bailey said that she was out of town and she was with Mike Hill and she was handling her business with her husband. So therefore, she couldn't make it. She couldn't be there, point blank, period. So what do you guys think about that situation? And Cynthia says that, that she reached out, she tried to reach out to NeNe or whatever the case may be because Gregg had passed away. And, Cynthia basically said her intentions was good. She was trying to be good. She was trying to, send her condolence to NeNe Leakes because of Gregg Leakes passing away in the celebration. And Cynthia said her mission was to connect with, NeNe Leakes. But, she ended up connecting with her a week later. Cynthia said that she feels that the connection that she had with NeNe Leakes a week later was better than the celebration. So in any event, Cynthia Bailey felt like she didn't want to be at the celebration. She had something else to do. She was traveling and she wanted some one-on-one time. She wanted some alone time, with NeNe Leakes. She ended up calling Marlo Hampton to have Marlo Hampton come through and basically, introduce her and reintroduce her to, NeNe Leakes. In any event, you don't need no Marlo Hampton. You call and you reach out to her. She was your friend. If you really loved her, if you really loved Gregg at one point in time, it would have been easier for you to reach out to NeNe Leakes and say, I just want to sit down. I want to talk to you. And in any event, like, you can't take back that you wasn't at his repast. It's not like it's your fault. But in any event, Cynthia Bailey seems like she's nonchalant about the situation. And she came out and she addressed NeNe Leakes point blank, period. I was like, Lord have mercy. And she was sitting there with Lonnie Love and Homeboy. I was like, Lord have mercy. Cynthia said that we closed the night away. She said, I thought that we was in a better place. I thought we was having a good celebration. We was smoking hookah. We was drinking. Cynthia Bailey said we partied the night away. And Cynthia said she at least wanted to connect with her old friend again, just out of respect and a respect level for Gregg Leakes. So in any event, it seemed like she only kind of reached out to NeNe Leakes because of Gregg passed away, not because she cared about NeNe at all, point blank, period. And maybe it was the best thing to do. And do you guys think Cynthia Bailey felt like, oh God, people are going to come at me because I did not even go over there to Gregg Leakes' celebration? My ex-husband Peter was there. My sister Mallory was there. You even had Toya was there. Juice-Adora was there. And no, Cynthia Bailey, like, how is she doing more important things than any of them? Like, come on, let's be realistic. We know Portia been filming all summer. Portia's been out here running these streets, acting a fool, showing her ass, doing whatever she got to do. Portia been out in these streets having so much fun, but she took time off of filming. She took time away from her man, what's his name? Mr. Simon. And she went over there and she attended, Gregg's, repast. So you guys let me know what you think about that situation. I was like, Lord have mercy, what is going on? And Cynthia Bailey is saying that, she wasn't there. She said, and this she also says, I want to be very clear. We are no longer friends and we are not friends. So in any event, Cynthia Bailey felt a certain type of way about the situation. I don't think Cynthia Bailey wanted to even sit down, have a conversation with NeNe or be around NeNe, point blank, period. And she thought that, maybe if I can skeet away from Gregg's celebration, then everything will be all right. But when people kept talking about him, where was Cynthia? And Cynthia had to show her face. She had to show up. Like, damn, it's like Cynthia ain't got no love for no NeNe Leakes. She ain't got no love for her at all. She don't give a damn about her grieving. She don't give a damn about what she going through. Cynthia said it is what it is. Like, we ain't friends. We ain't been friends. And when all the ladies got together and sent NeNe Leakes some flowers, we wasn't in a great place with her in any event. Lonnie Love basically said, she's, NeNe Leakes is going through the stages of grief. So therefore, it's anger. So Cynthia was like, well, it's whatever it is. But she said she was hoping that something would come out of this situation, sitting down, having a conversation with NeNe, having a good time. And she thought maybe that they can go somewhere. But now Cynthia Bailey is saying that, we can't go nowhere. She goes, I really just came here to just show my respects and be show respect for Gregg. And in any event, she gonna turn around and do this. So in any event, Cynthia Bailey's feeling a certain type of way. She's feeling like NeNe's shading her. NeNe's coming after her for no reason at all. And she felt like she went over there to the Cynthia's lounge and she sat down, she drank, she partied with her. Then not next thing you know, NeNe's turning around and shading her. She said, and basically Cynthia saying in so many different words, this is why we ain't friends. And she was basically probably didn't even want to go to the situation because maybe she knew it was going to turn out this way. But in any event, it seems like Cynthia tried to sneak and basically get that public appearance so people can stop questioning why did she not attend Gregg Leakes' repast. Even Kenya Moore was there. When we say Kenya was there, and no Cynthia Bailey, and I was like, damn. So what do you guys think about this situation? And Cynthia said that we could have all went to 1-800-Flowers and sent NeNe Leakes some flowers, but we thought it was going to be more impactful. We thought it was going to be more wonderful. We thought it was going to be more from the heart when she gets flowers from these girls. And actually Marlo Hampton picked out the flowers for the girls. And she said basically that Marlo took charge. She picked out the bouquet and it was beautiful. And she thought that NeNe Leakes was going to appreciate that even more because it came from all the girls of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and they came together, and she thought it was going to be, thoughtful, and NeNe would appreciate it better. But she said that no, Miss NeNe Leakes did not appreciate it at all, point blank, period. And she said she knows that NeNe Leakes love flowers, and she thought NeNe was going to love the flowers. She's going to love the idea. But in any event, Cynthia Bailey said it seemed like it wasn't. But Cynthia said that she was coming from a great place, and they all came from a great place to send her some flowers when they all wasn't in good places with her. Cynthia said that she had high hopes that maybe something could happen, but now she know ain't shit going to happen with the situation, and she ain't going to mess around with NeNe no more. She ain't going to talk about the situation, point blank, period. And she also said that after her and NeNe sat down and had a good dinner, not a dinner, but a celebration, drinking and partying at the Cynithia's lounge, that the next day that they texted each other and they was going to go out. She was like, oh, maybe I could do this. Maybe I can reconnect with my old friend. Maybe I could sit down and talk to her. By Cynthia Bailey saying that in the interview that she did today, that means that she don't want to be bothered with NeNe. She didn't want to sit around NeNe. She haven't forgave NeNe. She don't forgive NeNe, and she don't want to be her damn friend. And that's point blank, period, all the way together. I was like, Lord have mercy. So Cynthia Bailey did not want to sit down there with NeNe Leakes. Cynthia Bailey did not want to go there. She didn't want to deal with NeNe Leakes at all, point blank, period. She felt a certain type of way. Like she said, she wasn't in a good place. She was in avoidance. She didn't want to face. And we know Cynthia Bailey will run quick. She will run quick, fast, in a hurry, baby. And she didn't want to be bothered. But I think the backlash and people, saying, oh, she didn't show up. Oh, what kind of friend is that? Looking at Cynthia Bailey like, oh my God, you supposed to be, Martha Stewart over here. You're supposed to be, the great mother of the show. And your best friend at one point in time, husband passed away, and you was close in their life, and you knew exactly what was going on when Gregg got sick before everybody else knew, and you did not show up. And then also she probably felt bad too as well. Maybe Gregg's spirit was weighing in on her, but in any event, she went because she felt like she had to go. In any event, you should have stayed your ground and said, you know what, I send my love and my condolences to Gregg's family. NeNe, sorry for your loss, and kept it moving. Never should have went over there to the NeNe, the Cynithia's lounge. You should have never did none of that, because now it's coming all out to bite her in the ass for doing that. It's biting her in the ass right now. So NeNe was feeling a certain type of way. So you guys heard what NeNe said on the radio station. She basically said Cynthia didn't really reach out to her. She didn't connect with Cynthia. Cynthia wasn't calling her. We know NeNe basically said that there's other people that has been supporting her. And then NeNe was feeling a certain type of way because she felt like the gift that Candy gave her was bullshit. You know what I mean? At first, and then also the gift that Marlo Hampton with them $200 flowers that they all signed together was kind of like bullshit. When she paid for, Marlo's Hampton brothers repast, she sent food, and she did the same thing when it came to Candy Burris. She sent food to Candy Burris. Gregg even spoke at Todd Tucker's mother's funeral and Gregg gave great words about, Todd Tucker's mother. And then Nene and Gregg sent food and sent stuff to Todd and Candy, and all she got was $200 flowers. So Nene would felt a certain type of way. She felt disrespected. So she came out in these streets and she started windmilling, and she wasn't really windmilling. She was just telling the truth. But she ended up letting us know what, Marlo did after. But what Nene did for, Marlo Hampton and Candy Burris is nothing in return. What she did right off the scuff, right off the heart, right off the bat. These people waited to do what they needed to do. So in any event, ain't no love lost. So let's check out what NeNe Leakes have to say about the situation.
Sometimes in life,
see.
Talk your life. I want to say everyone that reached out to me during the time that Gregg was sick and during the time he was crossing over, I am so grateful. I am so grateful for everyone and everything. I'm so grateful. Listen, I'm very much a person that if you ask me something, I'm going to tell you. Yes, I am learning that every question does not need to be answered. I got that. But I want to say thank you to Tigger and V103 for having me on the show yesterday as a guest co-host. We had a super positive show. Obviously, any show that I do, they're going to ask me about the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Okay? They did. I spoke positive of everyone. I have nothing negative to say. I don't. My time on the show was what it was. I have nothing to say about any person, nothing. I'm done talking about all of that. Okay? So, they asked me if the Real Housewives sent condolences or gifts or anything. Everywhere I go, people ask me this stuff, okay? I get asked this stuff every single day. I said 1,000,000 times. Every single person that I can think of, maybe one or two didn't, the entire franchise reached out. The black girls and the white girls, okay? Bravo reached out. That included Andy, all the executives. Everyone reached out. The camera people on the ground, the production crew, everyone reached out. I was asked about gifts that were given. No, before I was asked about that, I was asked about if Cynthia attended Gregg's repast. No, she didn't. I answered the question very honestly. I'm a very honest person. She did not attend. Did it bother me that she didn't attend? No. Seemed like it bothered other people because other people were always coming to me asking me about it. It didn't bother me. She showed up a week or so later at the lounge. Great. We had an amazing time. I think she said somewhere we had a great time. It was awkward for about 10 minutes and we had a great time. We had an amazing time. We laughed, we partied, we had a ball. It didn't really bother me, okay? It just didn't. Gregg's sickness was what it was. He understood what he was going through. He knew he was going to die. We had these conversations 1,000,000,000,000 times, okay? I was asked about the gifts that the girls get. I was asked what gifts the Real Housewives gave, or if they gave a gift or something to the, I can't remember the exact question it was. And, I'm kind of fly at the mouth sometimes. So I said some little something on the side. But what the truth is, since we're speaking on the truth, I did receive flowers from the Real Housewives cast. And it lists their names: Kenya, Candy, Cynthia, Marlo. I think that's what it said. And I later said, I had a conversation with Marlo about it when she came to me. And I said, I did get the flowers. I just, everybody had to chip in to get me a set of flowers. We were just kind of talking about it. This is the truth. And I at that moment when she and I were having the conversation, I did feel away because Todd's mother passed some years ago. Gregg and I catered all of this food to his mom in New York, and Marlo's brother passed, and I sent, things to cater for Marlo. And but later, Candy sent me a huge bouquet of flowers. We text each other. I told her how much I thanked her. Marlo sent me money after that to buy things with for the repast. I'm grateful for everything. Like, we had the conversation. They bought a bouquet of flowers. It didn't matter. My house was like a garden. Okay. I got flowers from everybody from around the world. Okay. Flowers came in from everywhere, and I am grateful. Okay. I just don't feel like I have to get on here and break it down and explain, because I'm doing it because we had such a positive, fun show, and I never spoke negative of anyone. And my stalker is consistently speaking of me, but I'm telling you, I'm not the one. You need to stop your stuff, because I am not the one. I'm over here trying to live in a positive light. Please, I'm asking you to leave me alone. I want to say thank you to all of you who have consistently supported me. I do not care if you sent a gift. I don't care if you made a comment. I don't care what it was. I'm grateful for everything. I'm grateful for each and every last one of you. Thank you so much. My circle of support has been absolutely amazing. The people that are consistently checking on me and consistently supporting me, I love you, and I thank you. Thank all of you. Whatever you did it, and I appreciate it. Whether it was big or small, I really appreciate it. And I know Gregg truly appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I love you. Gotta go get some makeup now. Please leave me alone. I'm asking that. All of you guys, please leave me alone. I wish my husband had not died. I would not be dealing with any of this. Please leave me the fuck alone.
So there you have it. Throughout all the, technical difficulties and the auto, I had to keep playing the video over and over to get the shit right. I don't know why StreamYard is not taking my uploads, so I had to go and do a whole new type of way to do it. So it's more than one way to skin a mother effing cat. I don't know what's going on with you, StreamYard, but you done took 300 and change from me, and then Sunday you took some more money from me as well to tell me I couldn't go live unless I pay for more hours. So y'all, I don't know what's going on. I have everything queued up, but this is what's going on. This is what's happening. Thank you guys so much for your time, your patience. I appreciate each and every one of y'all, because you don't have to be here, but you're here. Thank you, peep squads, my peoples. So in any event, yes, the situation is off the chain between Cynthia Bailey. Cynthia Bailey is not backing down, and I guess Claudia Jordan has commented and said some things, but in any event, Cynthia Bailey on her Instagram, she's basically, putting up, who do you call Destiny's Child, that she's strong, that she's good, and she's playing these songs and she's smiling to let people know that she ain't worried about it. Cynthia don't give a damn about the situation. Cynthia says she ain't gonna speak on the situation no more. And Cynthia said that she thought she was doing something right. Cynthia said she thought she was doing something good. Cynthia said she didn't want to come to Gregg Leakes repass because, she was out of town, and she felt like having a special one-on-one moment with NeNe will be better. I think Cynthia don't like NeNe no more, and she don't want to be her friend, and she didn't give a damn what NeNe was going through, but she had to do it because she had no other choice. And then at the same time, she feels like, damn, I wish I would have never even did that, because now she's having regrets even sitting down with NeNe and hanging out with her and Marlo Hampton. Like, she's feeling a certain type of way, like she done jumped on an interview quick, fast, in a hurry. I was like, damn, Cynthia, that's fast. So Cynthia got up early this morning, baby, about 4 hours ago, and got on, the show, and basically was talking about NeNe and saying that, this is messed up. Cynthia feels a certain type of way. She feels like NeNe's coming after her, and NeNe feels like she has a stalker. And is that stalker Cynthia Bailey and Claudia Jordan? We know Claudia Jordan cannot stop talking about NeNe Leakes. That's our favorite person in the world. Anytime any mishap or NeNe say anything that's off kill or people can consume as shade or assume that it's shade, Claudia Jordan's gonna come through down. She's gonna fly right off of that broom and start running her mouth. So you guys let me know what you think about this situation. The phone lines are open if you want to call and give me your thoughts on the situation and how you feel about it. And the StreamYard is open too as well for you to get down and tell me what you think. Like, Lord have mercy. Like, damn, Gregg, died September 1st. And now we're out here in October, and we got Cynthia and, NeNe Leakes going back and forth. Like, damn. Like, what is really going on in this situation? Like, this is crazy. And Cynthia Bailey, she's not backing down at all. Cynthia was like, we wasn't even in a good place with her, point blank, period. But we got together and we sent her some flowers, and we thought she was going to appreciate it. So Cynthia's feeling like she ain't appreciating and shit. So I'm just like, Lord have mercy. Please tell me your name and where you're calling from.
Queens, New York.
Okay, so I didn't hear your name.
Carla.
Okay, hi Carla. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. So what are your thoughts on the situation with Cynthia Bailey and NeNe Leakes?
NeNe just lost her husband. She's going through these stages of mourning. If she said something that they're not happy with, you can't condemn her for that. She's going through a lot right now. So I don't understand why they're getting upset. Why is Cynthia upset? Because NeNe told the truth? I don't get it.
Well, Cynthia felt like she was shaded. That's the thing. She felt like she was shaded. She felt like maybe when she had that one-on-one time with NeNe Leakes and everything else like that, and they talked the next day and they were supposed to go out to have dinner, that, there wasn't going to be anything negative said or something assumed to be negative said about her in any event. But
I don't see anything negative.
She didn't say nothing.
They asked her a question. And she answered it. What's so negative about that? So she should have lied?
I guess she took it. Took it that way. She took it that way, especially with the gifts. When NeNe said
it makes her look what? It makes her look cheap.
It makes her look like it makes her look like she don't give a shit about NeNe. That's what it makes it look like.
Well, that's exactly it, which is cheap and tacky. You don't care. I mean, you said you couldn't make it to the celebration because you were, I don't know what you were, you said you were doing something with your husband, but you had posted that you were barbecuing with your husband.
Mm-hmm. That's another thing.
Did she forget that?
Yes, she did.
Okay. So then you heard everybody going in on you, then you took it down, right?
Mm-hmm.
You took that posting down. So now what's the problem? Because now everybody's seeing who you really are?
Now, another question. What's your name again?
Carla.
How is she more busier than Portia?
What happened?
How is Cynthia more busier than Portia and Candy?
Yeah, she was busy barbecuing with her husband. That's all. You're not busy. Come on, Portia flew in. Stop what she was doing when she was on vacation or filming her show. She came in, flew in just to be there for NeNe. And you forgot that you posted that you were barbecuing with your husband? Your husband had to work? That's what she said, right?
She said they had to go out of town. She said they had to go, her and Mike Hill had to go out of town.
Oh, okay. Well, that day, we saw that you were barbecuing.
Yes, we did.
Because you know what? With the money you're making, you could have gotten a flight, went, and took another flight that same day and went right back to your husband, correct?
Correct.
If you really wanted to be there for her,
like
you could have done that.
Like she said, hold on 1 second. Let me answer this. Okay, merge call. Hey, Miss T.
To accept, press 1.
Okay.
To send a voicemail.
Hey, Miss T, hold on for 1 second. So, with that situation, she said when she did the interview today that, she thought Nene was going to appreciate the flowers. And she said none of us was really in a good place with Nene in the first place. So basically that's telling us that she wasn't feeling Nene anyway. And she didn't really want to be bothered. In my opinion, that's what it seems like to me. Carla, respond to that. And then Miss T, you can go.
Well, that's exactly what it is. I mean, she's telling you that she really didn't care. She didn't want to be there. That's what it is. I didn't want to be there. We didn't care about you like that. I mean, if you're really going to do something, just do it from the heart. Right? You didn't have to say that, the way she sounds, she really didn't want to be there. She made it very clear. I didn't want to be there. That's why I posted my barbecue with my husband. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Miss T, your thoughts on the situation between Nene Leakes and Cynthia Bailey?
Okay, I might be on my own island, but in the real world, when you stop being friends with somebody and it's a real deep stop being friends, then anything that I do, however it's received, at least I did something. We're not friends. And I don't think it's very gracious of Nene to she didn't have to go into all of that. We didn't need to know all of that. It feels to me like she's keeping score, like we did this for them, but they didn't do anything for us. People do things from the heart, right? So to me, it looks like, well, maybe the other ladies didn't care either. If this all came from Bravo and they sent one thing of flowers, maybe everybody wasn't as pressed as they should be. Yes, people did show up, but I also appreciate that you at least did something and you met me and we had a one-on-one. I'd rather Cynthia reached out. Maybe she could have said, I can't make it. Skip the barbecue part, but I can't make it, whatever. But I do still want to meet with you. I do still want to give my condolences and talk to you. So to me, at least you're doing something. And you don't have to do anything, really, honestly. You don't have to do anything. We're not even really friends. We've been through it. It's about Gregg. So I think that's the only reason that a lot of the women did anything, especially even Bravo. It has nothing to do with Nene. But the way that Nene is speaking about it and saying, like, oh, well, all they did was this, and we catered a whole dinner, so you're keeping score? Somebody does something from the heart. Maybe I can't afford to do that. Maybe I can. Maybe we're not in a good place. Maybe I don't need to. Why are you specifically telling everything down to the decimal of what you got? You could have just said they sent me flowers. It was really nice. I didn't receive something from other people, but I definitely felt the love from these ladies, or I didn't. But to go into detail and then to add what you've done in the past, I think that's kind of tacky. And I think that's slightly narcissistic and tacky. Am I on the island by
Carla?
No, I mean, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, we should, and this and that. I understand that. But in the real world, it also goes the other way. And I don't feel any type of graciousness from Nene. She's telling me in anger. How do you start a sentence with a thank you and end with a F you? Like, how does that work? Thank you, I'm so grateful, but F you this and this and this because I did this and this. That doesn't go across well to me. So the whole Nene thing that I've heard 13 times it doesn't go well with me. I understand what you're saying, but I also see the other side.
Right. Well, can I speak?
Go ahead, caller.
Yeah.
No. I understand what you're saying, but also, it also has to do with the individual, because my best friend, at one point, we weren't talking, and I found out that her father passed away. Okay? And I went to the funeral. Although we weren't in a good place, I went to the funeral, So I guess it has to do with the individual.
Oh, it's definitely the individual, absolutely, and how they feel and the type of friendship that we had. I don't believe that their friendship was ever an equal one. I believe that Nene never really saw Cynthia on the same level as her. I believe she laughed at the friend contract. She downplayed when Cynthia really wanted to be there for her in the very beginning. If we don't remember, she made a whole joke about it, went and told somebody at lunchtime about the friend contract. And that's when Cynthia was really in and trying to be her friend. I don't think that relationship was ever an equal friendship in my mind. I don't think that Nene ever saw Cynthia as her equal friend. I believe that she considered her friend, but she was kind of like less than, if that makes sense. That's the vibe that Nene gives me.
Yeah.
And I would absolutely go to a friend's funeral that I was truly friend. I would absolutely do that. And if I could not, I would reach out and I would do something separately. Absolutely, because it's not about, you were my friend once, so in my mind, we had that moment. So I will consider you and hold you above others because we had that moment and we were best friends at a time. Absolutely.
Right. But also, there's a lot of hurt there in that relationship between those two ladies. Mm-hmm. A lot of things have happened where, I know that they always say that is because of Nene, Cynthia lasted long on the franchise, like on the show, because Nene always, right. Exactly. So
she was like the Robin. It was Giselle.
Correct.
The Giselle and Robin situation.
Yes, correct. That's it. And the same thing with my girlfriend. Like I told you, her father passed away. She got me a job. You know what I mean? Where she was working at. Mm-hmm. And I will never forget that. So it's like, no, I have to be there for her, regardless if we're not talking. You have to think about the things that you guys have gone through, what you guys have done for one another. That's, when you guys didn't have anybody. She was there. Yeah, she was there for you. But then again, the hurt also, you betrayed her. You betrayed Nene by, scamming behind her back, when it came to Kenya. You and Candy was, planning stuff behind her back. And then they caught you on the mic saying, oh, I got to act like I don't know that she was coming. And all along you knew she was going to come. So, of course, there's a lot of hurt there. Right. And
that just shows
okay, hold on 1 second. Hold on. Both of you guys, hold on. We got Felicia Butler. Felicia Butler, turn on your mic. Are you here?
I'm still here.
Felicia?
Yes, I'm still here.
I just screen. She's here. She's waiting.
Hello?
For me, shit. Miss T's like, I heard her all 13 times. I know, goddammit. This shit was not work at all. Felicia, are you here? Are you here?
I think StreamYard is acting a fool.
I'm here.
Yeah. Okay, it's I can hear she's moving, but I can't hear no sound. So maybe
I'm gonna call back.
Maybe take her out and bring her back in.
Yeah.
Drop her off and bring her back in. Hold on.
Okay, Felicia. Okay, she jumped off. Okay, so let's go to this part of the situation. Do you think that Cynthia was actually really sincere when she met up with Nene Leakes, or she felt obligated to, because it just seems like she just wanted to walk away from. She didn't even want to say shit. She wanted to do what she did on Instagram and say, sorry, Gregg Leakes, sorry this. And then Nene Leakes is seeing Cynthia being interviewed. Of course, when you are a housewife, you being interviewed, they're going to ask you questions. And she was speaking on Gregg and speaking on the situation. If Nene Leakes thought that Cynthia was being fake and Cynthia wasn't being real, and she just using this moment to talk about Gregg and go viral and things of that nature, and feeling like she wasn't sincere, is that the reason why Nene came out and said what she said towards Cynthia? And she wasn't ignorant towards Cynthia. She just said that she didn't come to the repast. She came a week later.
A week later, but she also then just gave us an itemized list of what everybody did. And then she gave us an itemized list of what she did for others.
But that's what Marlo Hampton spoke on Kandi Burruss' show and said that Nene did this for me, Nene did that for me, and she spoke up on the good things that Nene did for her. And then Kandi Burruss was on her Instagram live and she was talking about, well, Nene did this for me, Nene did that for me. Yes. And then I sent Nene, that Kandi did a video with Escape, and she was basically, singing a song towards Gregg Leakes. So they all have been keeping scores.
Mm-hmm. I think Cynthia. Cynthia was, how do you say this? Save face. Like she went there a week later because yes, everybody was on her back. Everybody was saying, oh my God, Cynthia wasn't there. Cynthia wasn't there. So she's trying to of course, Cynthia's always trying to make herself look good in front of everybody. Yeah. Just like she's the nice one. She's the good one. Yeah. So that's, I think, and I think that's why she went there a week later. Very sneaky. That's why she went there a week later. Then now people can say, oh yeah, Cynthia showed up. That's all it is. She wasn't sincere. I don't believe she was sincere. I really don't.
But Kandi didn't show up either.
Sad. And I don't think Nene's sincere on everything, that the way she moves and behaves.
I think Nene was really hurt that Cynthia didn't come through because she knew the intimate details of their life. Hold on. Let's see if we can get Felicia Butler. Felicia?
Hey. Hello?
I don't know why this. It must be.
Bye, Felicia. No. I'm just playing.
Why is it? I don't know. Okay, hey, Felicia. Hold on, Felicia.
Yeah, they're
Hello, I'm here.
Okay, we got her. Okay, Felicia, tell us your thoughts on the situation between Cynthia Bailey and Nene Leakes. What do you think? Who's wrong? Who's right? Or who's indifferent?
I grew up if they give me my flowers while I'm here, because once a person is dead, like Nene's husband, they not coming back. And Cynthia feel like if she was gonna come and was gonna reach out, she should not reached out at all.
Oh goodness. I didn't hear that very well. Can somebody?
All right, keep going, Felicia. Hold on 1 second. Keep going, Felicia.
I said that give me my flowers while I'm here. Like when Gregg is dead and gone, Gregg is dead and gone. That Cynthia should not came at all. Don't wait till a week later trying to feel like you trying to get attention for social media, because people gonna have black flash about all that.
So she shouldn't fix her mistake. You feel like she didn't do it on the right pretenses. You feel like she just did it not because she really cared, but because of being seen in the persona.
Yeah, that's what she's saying. And that's the thing, when you are not doing, I don't know Cynthia's heart, but we can just judge the actions. But if you are not sincere about something, just don't do it. Just take the heat, take the flack.
Exactly.
Everybody want to apologize. Everybody want to act like they care about a motherfucker, but they really don't. And then when you do that, now you get called out because the person feels like, okay, I know this person is being fake. And Cynthia and NeNe know each other very well, but at the same time, it wasn't tasteful the way that NeNe said what she said, but she didn't say anything disrespectful. She just said Cynthia came a week later and all these girls got together and put their name on the flowers. Don't they got a job? Don't they work? That is shade, right?
That's unnecessary. That's not cool.
That's shade.
Unnecessary.
So
Yeah.
what are you, hold on one second.
That needs to be said.
So Felicia, continue.
Like if they did put together and got her some flowers, it's just a thought that's count. But I know she tried to be shady, talk about all of them got jobs. It doesn't matter if they got a $2,000 flowers or got some fake flowers from the Dollar Tree. They still thought about you. You got some people who broke and don't fool with nobody, and they're not gonna think about them at all.
Okay, Carla, what's your thoughts, Carla?
Listen.
I know.
Oh my goodness. Listen, the poor woman just lost her husband. Listen, we're not perfect, okay? I love Nene to death. But when she's wrong, I will say she's wrong. But you have to understand what she's going through right now. She's going through a lot right now. Her poor husband is gone. She's got this business she's running. Her husband was her backbone. You know what I mean? He gave her great advice. He was always there to calm her down. Now she doesn't have him. So don't, crucify her because she said something in a negative light to some people. You know what I mean? She's going through a lot.
All right. This question for Miss T, then Felicia, then Carla. Miss Nina Bug said Nene did not come to Cynthia's wedding.
A wedding and a funeral is two different things.
Sorry, but they're both very well, first of all, Cynthia's wedding, yeah, I wouldn't have went to that either. But that's for a whole other reason. I'm just trying to live.
The pandemic.
Yeah, I can't. Them shields, I'm good. So I wouldn't have went to Cynthia's wedding either. So there's that part. But they are two different things. I mean, they're both very huge things that happen in people's lives. Cynthia's been married before, so it's not really her first wedding. And again, it was a super spreader, so I wouldn't have been there either. So I don't think the wedding, was she invited? Now that's the question. Was Nene even invited to the wedding?
I think she was. I'm not certain.
I can't even remember. Okay, go Felicia.
I think to my understanding, she wasn't invited to Cynthia's wedding. And then during the middle of the pandemic, I was going to come to get sick with all them folks at a wedding anyway. And that was selfish on her behalf, having a wedding in the middle of a pandemic. You should have had a wedding in the backyard, honey.
Absolutely. Cynthia was being very selfish with that whole wedding situation. That was ridiculous.
Yeah, that's true.
I completely wouldn't. Yeah, that's a whole nother situation. That's two different situations. I wouldn't have gone either. But I don't know if she was invited or not. Probably not, because again, Cynthia is working on the back like we're not friends. We're not
okay, Miss Nina Bug said that she was invited, and I remember when Nene first got to the Cynthia's lounge, and she was sitting there with the guys that she was going to be doing a panel with, and I think she kind of like shaded Cynthia a little bit, is it real, the relationship between Cynthia and Mike Hill? So, and then you have a whole bunch of other stuff down the line that happened between these two ladies. In my opinion, I don't think Cynthia wanted to be bothered with Nene, and she should have just did her IG post and kept it moving.
Exactly.
Right, or did something behind the scenes and called it a day. If I wasn't going to make it, I would at least called her or sent her a text or did something beforehand so it wouldn't look like a backtrack later. If I can't make it because I'm having this barbecue, I'm a Smoky Joe, I'm the steak's been marinating overnight, I get it. So we had to cook them. So I couldn't make it, but once I finished my thing, I'll be over there. So, appreciate that. At least, I mean, you want me to save you?
Okay, so see, Next question, Carla. This is for you. So, do you think that Cynthia Bailey should have did an interview today addressing Nene, or should she have let it go?
She should have let it go.
Mm-hmm. Now that let it go. Real power grab. Now that looks real cloudy.
Yes. Yes.
What about you, Miss T?
Kept quiet.
Okay.
It shows insincerity now. Now it's getting real insincere.
Yep.
Well,
Yep.
she spoke. She spoke the true mind in that interview. What about you, Felicia? Do you think Cynthia should have responded to what Nene Leakes said on a radio station?
No, because they're gonna respond for it anyway, especially Claudia Jordan.
Oh yeah, Claudia can't wait. Claudia is a whole nother situation.
Yeah.
Claudia
She's always butting into the situation that has nothing to do with her. You know? So
yeah, let it go. She's been on Nene's neck for years. For what?
Yeah.
For what?
Yeah.
She got her hard on for Nene.
She didn't like what Nene said about her private part, leaving her.
Oh. I thought we were talking about her toes. Oh.
No.
That was the hammer toe. Okay.
So basically, this conversation we're talking about is Nene and Cynthia beefing about Gregg Leakes passing and what was proper and what wasn't proper. So let's get it all down to the facts of the situation. Nene said what she said, that Cynthia Bailey came a week later. The girls got together and sent her a bouquet of roses with all their names on it, and she felt like they could have sent her one separately. And then that's what then Cynthia Bailey jumped on the situation and said, we wasn't even all the way that cool with her, and we thought it was a nice gesture. We put Marlo in charge to send Nene Leakes the bouquet because we wasn't all in a good place with her. And Cynthia said that, you know, she was busy for the repast with the hot dogs and hamburgers and french fries. And then
yeah, they had to cook.
They had to cook. And then Cynthia
put some charcoal on, girl. You know, charcoal, you got a time period. You got to get it on.
So then Cynthia Bailey, you know, basically addressed the situation. Like, I thought that me and, you know, Nene Leakes was going to move somewhere. We was going to basically build something. It just felt like Cynthia was very... She didn't want to see Nene. She didn't want to see Nene. She said that, you know what, I felt like I had to, not that she had to, but she's like, I had to call Marlo and just have some one-on-one time with her. It'll be more special. You know, we drank, we smoked, we did hookah. You know what I'm saying? And I thought we talked the next day that everything was going to be all good. And so she is so surprised that Nene came out and said what she said. Nene just said, bitch, you wasn't there. At the repast.
Now, here's the question. Did they have a good conversation? See, I would feel a way about that too. We chopped it up on the phone, and then in the blogs, you're talking about, oh, well, you know, this and that. But we already cleared it up behind the scenes, and you made me feel like it wasn't, like you accepted my apology for not being at the funeral, and then you went on and said this in the public.
So that might be the case where Cynthia feels like...
And that wouldn't be cool.
Cynthia may have explained everything to Nene why she didn't come and blase in the third. And did Cynthia feel a pressure of, you know, being around all the ladies and Nene Leakes there too as well? And then knowing that she did not have her peach, is that another reason why she didn't want to be there? Because all the ladies that were there got a peach. Except for her.
No. I mean, Nene doesn't have a peach.
I mean, I'm outside of that. So now she's gonna be with the girls that got a peach. Kenya Moore got a peach. Marlo Hampton got a peach. Juice-Adora got a peach. Portia would have a peach if she was there. I mean, if she wanted to be on the show this season. But now Cynthia is dealing with, oh my God, I just got married. I wanted to buy houses. I want to meet bi-coastal. And now I don't have a peach. Now I got to go face all these ladies. And she don't know if they know that she has a peach or not. Did that play a role in her not wanting to be there? Huh?
But I mean, that could be the opposite. So everybody came. Now let's flip it. So everybody who was there is on the show. So that, to me, I'm like, oh, okay. Well, why did y'all come? Did y'all come because y'all got peaches?
So what do you think about that, Felicia?
Why she want to be embarrassed for because she lost her job? Shoot, people in America lose jobs every day. So what? If she ain't want to come, she trying to reach out. You trying to reach out through a third stand. You ain't should say anything at all.
So do you think the peach? So what I'm asking you guys, do you think the peach played a role in Cynthia not wanting to be there?
Who?
Yeah.
Cynthia not having a peach played a role in her possibly not really wanting to attend Gregg's funeral.
I don't see why it should. I mean, NeNe don't have a peach anymore.
Well, we know that, but it wasn't publicly yet known to the world that Cynthia did not have a peach. And from what I'm reading,
wait a minute. Here's a question: was that filmed? Because they said NeNe's gonna do like a few appearances on the season. Was that filmed?
It was filmed.
That's a lie. That's not true.
It was filmed doing people filmed it with their own camera, and NeNe Leakes had her own, production team.
Okay, so the
show had nothing to do with it. The show had nothing to do with it.
Okay.
But what I'm trying to say is, she's losing her job, and all these ladies have a job, and now she's going there. And then, she's not cool with NeNe that much either. And then to see her counterparts, with a peach, and she's going to be there. I don't know if the peach played a role in her not, being there, because now we know that Kenya Moore and Cynthia Bailey had somewhat of a falling out.
I don't think
she doesn't know. She's not a good friend at all.
Yeah.
She is not a good friend, period.
Weird situation. It's a very, they're not friends, but she's not a very good past friend either.
No.
But NeNe makes it hard to be a friend. Some people are hard to be friends with. Let's keep it real. NeNe makes it, being NeNe's friend could probably, I'm sure it takes some work sometimes.
Well, every relationship takes work, right?
Absolutely.
And sometimes right. If you really like the person, you're like, you know what? Let me put up with this because I really like this person or whatever, But she's just not loyal, Cynthia. She flip-flops.
Rip up that friendship contract. It was over. She printed that up on the computer and everything. Yeah.
And I think with Cynthia, she always tried to make NeNe look bad. Always. Trying to make it seem like she's the good person. She's so sweet. She's nice. And we all know that's not true. Because you're sneaky. You're very sneaky.
She's undercover nice, yeah. I think she's
very much
nice
so.
to a point.
Yeah.
But behind the scenes, she'll be doing this and that. Because she
doesn't hide her hand.
It all comes back to also, she doesn't feel like on the same level as NeNe. She knows NeNe will chop her down to size. So I also think it's a little fear and intimidation. I don't think Cynthia will ever come at NeNe straight up because she already knows.
Yeah, but it's the same thing. It's the same thing with Kenya. She would never do that with Kenya either.
She knows who to play with. Cynthia knows her role. Just like the Robin and Giselle. Robin's never gonna say it. She doesn't have enough backbone to do that. Yeah.
Because that's her milk ticket. That's the only reason she's there is because of that person.
Exactly. So whoever I need to be friends with, if it's Cynthia this season and it's Kenya next season because she's here, then that's what I'm gonna do. Yep, absolutely. And sell this wine that I don't know nothing about. Because again, and all her friends talk about her. So your other friend asked you and gave you a quiz on wine in front of everybody. Make it make sense. You need to pick better friends. Girl, your husband.
Okay, but look at this situation. But look at this situation.
She feels like she has a backbone now because she's married. You notice that? Like she thinks, I don't need anybody because I have my husband.
Yeah, that's it. Now she put all her eggs in that basket. Absolutely. Let's move my daughter out and everything. We're gone. Absolutely.
Right.
But okay,
she's
Cynthia,
white female vibe.
Okay, one question. When it comes to Cynthia and NeNe Leakes' friendship, that they were friends. She even took Gregg to the hospital. She's the one that knew that Gregg had a colostomy bag and he was sleeping in a different room, and she said that shit on TV, right? And so they haven't been friends for a long time. And you know, Kenya Moore and Nene Leakes hasn't been cool for a long time. But Kenya Moore was there at Gregg repast. What does that say about Cynthia?
That says Kenya is full of crap. That's what that says. Oh, we're not talking about Kenya.
But you can say what you have to say. Go ahead.
I feel like it makes Kenya look like, okay, Kenya. Or what are you really here for? That I always have to flip it like, okay, Kenya. What do
you know what I think?
What?
I'm sorry, but I think she came there because she knew she was going to be on Dancing with the Stars.
Lord.
And that's a good look for her.
All about
I can't stand y'all. I can't
I
stand.
don't think it's about Cynthia, but think it's about Kenya. Kenya's the one that looks super fake.
Mm-hmm.
No, but think about it. In the interviews that when they asked Kenya Moore about Nene Leakes, Kenya Moore said, Gregg never judged me. Gregg always, tried to make peace. Gregg always tried to do this. And she kept her word about what she said about Gregg, and she was there at that lounge for Gregg. So that says that she put her mouth where her money is, because Cynthia was saying all these wonderful things about Gregg, and she didn't even take her ass to the repast.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, Felicia, what do you think?
Part of Nene.
About Kenya coming to the funeral and Cynthia didn't.
Yeah.
I guess Kenya done that because of respect from Gregg. That's my opinion.
To me,
because
I think
she liked the Gregg. She put her difference on the side to Nene and said, I'm coming to support you because I like the Gregg. But I don't see it was a publicity stunt. That's my opinion.
Y'all are sitting there like, I think she did it because
but she also dressed up and knew that publicity would still be there. She knew. They're not stupid.
I can't stand y'all. Miss T, you talking too much shit. You and Carla are just talking too much shit, y'all.
Yeah.
But we're talking the truth. That's how we see it, right?
Yep. I can't stand y'all. I can't stand.
I'm a rational person. I'll give you right when you're right, and I'll even give a little bit of wrong to a right, but gotta keep it real. Like,
okay, what about this situation? I think
let's not do that.
I think Kenya came there because she really liked Gregg and she respected Gregg, and Gregg was good to her. Even when him and his wife was beefing, he stayed, he didn't stay in between. He tried to, calm them both down and make sure things were right. But how come nobody's saying nothing about Kandi? She didn't attend because Kandi was really busy though, but Kandi was doing the Escape tour, but Kandi didn't come.
Yeah,
Kandi,
aren't we in the middle of COVID? What tour is this?
So listen, that was Candy's excuse for not coming. That was her excuse.
Where are you doing it? Online? What they got to do?
I don't know.
Kandi had a few say every man who loves a woman.
I can't stand you guys.
Where else they at? You still a Ticketmaster. Girl, you tried it. Skate.
I don't know. These people, they're crazy. I know they all got more money than I do.
You know they do.
No,
they do. They got more money.
That's what makes it awful too. You could have caught a red eye, been there.
Exactly. That's what I said. Yes.
Caught the red eye and came back and finished your potato. Goodbye.
Yeah. Exactly. You could have gone, went there, spent a couple of hours, and go right back.
Yeah.
Because you got it like that, right?
Absolutely. I mean, if Simon could do it, clearly anybody can rent a plane. So
that's good.
Yeah,
that's it.
There's a way, especially when there's money.
Okay, I got a question.
To do it.
So, what was the conversation like between Nene and Cynthia? Like, was it a loving conversation when they was chilling and hanging out? Did they like really mend wounds? Because it don't seem like
real
that.
Dry and real fake. Yeah, it was real dry and it was real fake.
They had Marlo in the middle, so they won't clown with each other.
They both were looking at their clock.
Y'all are too much.
It was probably moving backwards.
Listen.
Just like that man on Color Purple. Time Sophia and old girl got the fight. She wrapped up that hookah, said, time to go.
Well, Cynthia said she was there the whole time. She even helped close up the place, and that she ate over there and had drinks and hookah. And who paid for those drinks and hookah and the food?
They on the house.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, damn.
Because I care about you, so I'm gonna help you spend time in your restaurant. Nothing says love like eating free food. I mean, I'm here.
Ain't nobody finna turn down no free meal, no free drink. If they drink, I know I'm not.
Okay, listen.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I'm here, so, and we're at the restaurant. So, what do we do?
So was it?
Review if the food is good.
So was it more fake for her to try to spend one-on-one time with her instead of just showing up like everybody else did at Gregg's repast?
Yes, because that's backpedaling.
Yeah, that's a damn lie.
Y'all are too much.
A bullet wound.
And I don't understand why, when she's going through all these interviews, why no one comes out and say, well, you posted that you were barbecuing with your husband.
She had to get the Johnson Bill Sashes on the grill with the big brats.
Nene brought up the wrong point.
Because she probably wasn't. Okay, what did Miss Nina? If I was Cynthia, I would spill the beans on just how narcissistic Nene really is, since she's not on the show anymore. Gonna tell her all, Cynthia. So Miss Nina Bug is basically saying that, you know, like what you said, Miss T, that, you know, maybe NeNe Leakes is hard to be friends with. Do anybody agree that NeNe might be hard to be friends with?
I don't.
Yeah.
No, because she has other friends, and they don't say anything bad about her. They always say she's a good friend.
Yeah, I don't think she's hard to be. She seems like she's a fun person, unless, you know, you cross her ass. Unless
she's a good friend, exactly. She's not your friend.
When it's on, I think they don't have no real friendships when it comes to the TV show, because you got so many people in your ears. Even recently, Kenya Moore, I could bring up the video where she said that, like, you guys get to see me in a different light, you know, on Dancing with the Stars, that you're beefing with somebody or trying to get at somebody because they did something to me. It's just me that you get. You know, so I think when they're on this show, they have to do what they have to do. If someone comes at them, they got to come back, and they have to keep it on and popping. And that's what the networks want. You know, we don't want them to fight. We just want them to throw shade, but we don't want them to throw shade where it can break their soul. You know what I mean?
Like your girl Candy Dillon bastard do be having no gutteries, like she from the hood and grew up in the country club. Act like you from the country club.
So Cynthia said she's not going to respond to any more things. Do you think she'll be quiet?
She probably won't stay quiet because, you know, her stupid friends, Claudia and Kenya, might, you know, wind up her back if NeNe say something. Then she has to prove to them, okay, yeah, I'm not scared of NeNe, and try to, you know, say something back. That's what I think's going to happen. She can't keep her mouth shut because she has no, I mean, who thinks of Cynthia? NeNe's giving her a lot of clout right now, just mentioning her name.
Exactly. We're still talking about Cynthia. Exactly.
Yeah.
In the barbecue.
Exactly.
And the hunch punch.
What she said in here?
The barbecue and the hunch punch. It's a drink.
The hunch punch.
Yeah, I said she got too much shine from a barbecue. Like, this is stupid. We're only talking about Cynthia because, again, NeNe brought it up.
But
so really, NeNe should have just not given her the shine, and that's what she really deserved.
She wanted to call Cynthia out because she felt like Cynthia was fake. But when it comes to Kenya Moore, I don't think Kenya Moore is going to say anything to Cynthia Bailey of what to do, because I don't think Cynthia Bailey and Kenya Moore are on great terms, because the last interview I seen Kenya Moore do, she said, I really want my friends to address me, that who are really my friends, to address me off camera, not on camera. And we know that Cynthia Bailey calls out Kenya Moore on Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip and say, you don't got my back, you ain't really my friend. So now we see that Cynthia is not so good with Kenya Moore, and then she damn sure ain't good with NeNe Leakes. So is Cynthia the problem or no?
Do we not remember how Kenya's talked to her about that? We're not friends. They're not friends. Friends don't do that. They've been friends. Cynthia just got latched on to whoever she needed to latch on to. And Kenya entertained it, but really backhanded her at the same time. So Kenya knows they're not friends. I don't think Kenya's really friends with anybody, really.
So do you think, so with what you just said, does Cynthia latch on to people that have more clout?
Of course.
Of course.
And people that can fight her battles for her.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's upset with Kenya because Kenya didn't fight her battle for her.
Right. She needs a tough friend on her side. She's a sidekick.
Exactly.
Cynthia is a sidekick.
Oh, why you call her a sidekick? Why you call her
like the salad that comes with the dinner? Yeah, she's not. You're not gonna get full on Cynthia. She might hold off your hunger a little bit, but she's not gonna get full. She needs a friend that has like rah rah rah. She needs a friend with backbone. Otherwise, it's not gonna work.
Exactly. That's it.
And that's like her husband. That's how they run over her too. Peter doing all of this foolishness. She has no backbone. Peter was her backbone and doing all this foolishness, taking out loans and doing all of this. Bar one, bar two, bar none. Doing all of this. And then here he's introducing her to the harem of girls, and like it's all there. Nobody really has. Everybody's bigger than Cynthia. Cynthia takes a sidekick role to everybody, even her daughter, to everybody. But her daughter told her mama, "No, you're doing too much, mama."
So, but if you see Cynthia Bailey, right? They only gave us.
Mama was mad about who she invited to her wedding. Like nobody takes.
No one takes her serious.
No one takes it. Remember when her mama and her sister hid her own marriage license? Like, come on now. Like, let's keep it real when it comes to Cynthia. Nobody takes her seriously.
So let me ask you guys this question. So with what we see now, what's going on, Kenya Moore has nothing to do with any of the negativity. And she came there, she said good words about Gregg when she was in an interview, asked about Gregg on Hollywood Access and other places. And then she also showed up to Gregg Leakes' repast. So ultimately, maybe Kenya Moore would have been a better friend for Nene than Cynthia Bailey.
Yeah, but also you have to understand, Kenya is good friends with Claudia. Okay?
Yeah.
Claudia is speaking for Kenya. Okay?
I don't think so. I do. I don't think so.
You don't think they spoke to each other and said, "Can you believe what Nene said? Can you believe?" You don't think so?
No, because I think they're really good friends, but Kenya Moore is highbrow and Claudia Jordan is lowbrow, and she wouldn't condone any of that shit because she don't like that drama, that nastiness.
So lowbrow.
I'm calling Claudia.
What Fox 4? I don't watch that crap.
Because if Kenya Moore wanted to say anything towards Nene, she'll say it. She don't have no holds bar, and she tells you that she don't really like this nastiness. She got so much. She got Mark Daly going on in her life, and this divorce. She's trying to raise her daughter, keep her coins, and at the same time, she got voted off of Dancing with the Stars, not because she wasn't good, but just because there was some undertones in that situation. She ain't worried about ignorant ass Claudia Jordan. The undertone was you have to watch the all the other videos I did. I don't want to get into it in this video.
Well, I saw it. I don't see any undertone. I saw it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
She wasn't that good.
I think she was excellent. Everybody else agrees.
Well, she wasn't that good. That's funny.
She was excellent. She was excellent. She tore it up. And they didn't want to give her they didn't want to give her flowers. But it's all right.
They let her go because Real Housewives of Atlanta is about to start filming. So I heard that perhaps that was one of the reasons she was also let go, because you can't do two things. And they were already she was already at odds with Bravo because they didn't want her to. You can't do two things at the same time. So I heard that just kind of happened, that she got let go just in time enough to go start filming her real show.
Okay, hold on. What about this? Lorraine says, I remember when Cynthia tried to honor Gregg at her engagement party and Nene would not allow it. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah, that was when they tried to, scheme and get Kenya there. I wouldn't want my husband talking either.
And that was kind of like you tagged her on to something else. But yeah, I remember you throwing him in at the end. Who does that? That's okay. Again, it looks ingenuous.
Hey, Lorraine.
Yeah.
So what are we saying? Cynthia is as ingenuous. Cynthia, what?
Cynthia should have just stayed out of it, period. Cause this is social media where people gonna drag you, gonna drag Nene, they gonna drag everybody. She just should have stayed out of. Should have cooked us beer brats, her ribs, and her hamburgers, and that was it.
So, do you think Cynthia should have just went to Nene's house and not to the club where Lamar Odom was there, the cameras, and then boom, bada bing, and hit the blog? Cynthia had the video. Oh, look, I was there with Nene at the lounge.
You said it.
Nene said all of her stuff publicly, so I'm sure Cynthia wanted her rebuttal to be public too.
Amen.
Because if you don't do that, then we don't know what you said, or the picture can be painted any way about you. So once Nene has brought it to the media, of course I'm gonna show my reaction and show what I did to the media. Of course, I have to. Otherwise, Nene can paint any picture she wants. Again, I still think that they might have had a conversation on the side, and Cynthia probably thought things were better because they never really had good communication. Cynthia probably thought things were better or in a whole different place than Nene thought when they got off the phone, because they never were able to understand each other as friends. So I'm sure that they could have had a conversation and it could have been all good. And when they hung up, one was like "F up."
Okay, Felicia, your thoughts. Felicia, your thoughts.
My thoughts is everybody knows Nene love the camera. But if Cynthia want to reach out to Nene, she ain't had to go through Marlo to reach out to Nene. She knew where Nene lived at. She knew where her club located and all that. But you want everybody gonna make a scene about something. That's it.
Listen, even Kim Zolciak showed up.
Oh, that bitch. Oh, I can't stand her. Yep.
But she showed up.
yeah. Oh my God, she upstaged Cynthia too. Why do they keep upstaging Cynthia? Lorraine said is that Lorraine says that Cynthia probably doesn't know what to do. Cynthia was conflicted. You think?
No, Cynthia know that she looked like an ass. She did it a week later to cover her ass, just to show people, she showed up anyway. That's what I think.
Okay, you gotta say that last part again. Felicia, I'm gonna put you on mute because your dog is barking. Your dog,
all right.
Your dog sounds cute though. Go ahead, Carla.
Oh, you didn't hear what I said?
The last part.
Oh, I think that, she showed up there because she was already looking like an ass. And so she wanted to show that she's not an ass by showing up there and making sure that it was posted and that, she was there till closing, so she says, just to make sure that, she looks good. It's all about her looking good in front of the public.
Go ahead, Miss T.
Say it again. What's the question?
Cynthia really did not know what to do. You think Cynthia was like caught in between, like, damn, should I go? Should I not go? She didn't know really what to do.
Yeah, I think she might have had a little back and forth, but at the end of the day, she chose not to. But yeah, she probably did go back and forth with herself. And Cynthia probably waited out and thought, well, I've already talked to her, so it's going to be okay. And I've already talked to her. It's going to be okay. And I'll go later. And she probably weighed her options, and she thought it wasn't going to be that big of a deal. And we wouldn't know all these details if it wasn't for Nene. So Cynthia probably thought it wasn't going to be that big of a deal. But yeah, she should have gone, definitely. And she backtracked. That was all backtrack. For going after her, all that's all backtrack and saving face.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, NeNe needs to be more gracious. If people did send you stuff, don't be like, they sent it all together and they kind of, yeah, they could have, or they could have sent nothing. So I need her to be a little more gracious. But I'm going to give her some slack because, yes, she's in the middle of grieving, and I don't know what stage she's at. I think she's at anger.
Good.
So,
Yes.
I understand.
Give her a little slack.
She's in the stage. Yeah, she's in the anger stage right now, but she's a little better.
And she misses her husband. She misses him a lot. She's by herself. She feels like he's loner.
Oh yeah, he was the best part of her. He was,
He know how to calm her down. He know how to calm her down.
And he was stupid. Greg made, oh my goodness. Greg used to make some little jokes on the side. Greg used to have me dying. Yes, I love me.
But he wasn't the perfect husband, because remember there were rumors he was out there doing stuff. Yeah. So.
What she told him on that podcast. And yo.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. Remember when in the kitchen? Yeah, she was going.
Because he did. Because she said at one point there are times there was when he was sick she was like, well, in her mind, she's like, well, why don't he go and get that chick to take care of him? I'm the one that's taking care of him. You see? So she's been through a lot.
Yeah, it's hard. Just like that whole closet thing. That was a whole other, that wasn't really that. That was a whole other thing. That was a whole other. But why are you going in my closet? Like, what are we doing? Why are we doing
Exactly.
Exactly.
When you're a guest, when you're a guest in someone's home, you need to stay where they tell you to stay.
Y'all, hold on.
That cameraman couldn't wait. The cameraman wanted to see Joe. He couldn't wait. He said, what? We're going in where? Yeah. And that was, she took out anger again on them. That whole last season was really displaced anger, a lot of it. I think NeNe was going through a lot, and they did not, of course, give her any slack. And what we saw with her interaction didn't come across well. But yeah, she was already going through it.
Okay,
and
so
somebody dealing with cancer for years,
and Bravo did her so dirty. That plays in it too. They did her so dirty. I mean,
she has burned that bridge down. She has burned that Bravo bridge. So I'm actually shocked that Bravo sent anything. I'm like, oh, that's nice.
All right, Felicia Butler, you got anything to add? Because I did put you on mute for a little bit.
I'm sorry about that, because when my dog hear any little Krampus, he gonna bark.
Don't worry about it. I got technical difficulties, so don't worry about it.
Just like I was saying earlier, like people be trying going to this funeral and stuff. That please while I'm alive, please just give me my flowers while I'm here, because once I'm dead, you're not gonna fix anything. You're gonna see people's true colors. And I feel like this, if they really want to have a general conversation, they should not have bring social media to it, period. Because we understand both of them ladies have hurt with their friendship. Because I've been with my friend for 20 years.
The media first. Which one brought this story?
Hold on, Miss T. She's not finished. Keep going. You've been with your friend for 20 years.
I've been with my friend 20 years, and we also had different, but I'm not going to go on social media on the internet for no bull crap. And I don't feel I was a friend ever since I was a kid. I don't talk on that. But it's just like, they just need to hear from one each other, or just don't fool with each other. Then stop going on these interviews and talk about what went on, because I understand it's 5 stages of grief, and she in that anchor stage right now. And after a while, she gonna be in the denial stage. It is what it is.
I think NeNe came to the realization that her and Cynthia ain't really never been friends. And Cynthia came to that realization too. And she said, I had my hopes up. I thought something was gonna happen between us. Thought we was gonna do this. But look, I'm back where we started. Cynthia and Nene are back where they started beefing and basically taking shots at one another, you know.
Nene realized that, like you said, Cynthia was not a good friend, and she realized that she can't trust Cynthia. She can't trust her.
But the thing about it, Cynthia don't seem that bad. Why? It just seems like all this other stuff makes Cynthia just looks like she's cold-hearted. But when we see her on film, she's not cold-hearted. She was begging Nene to be her friend. Like she was trying to.
She's acting.
She's acting. It didn't seem like it seemed like
she wanted to secure her spot. That's why.
It seemed like she really admired Nene and loved her, and then we get all this other shit. It don't even seem like they were friends, really.
That's the fakeness.
I think they were friends when it made it convenient for Cynthia. I definitely think that Cynthia latched on because, again, she knows the name of the game. She knows what she has to do to stay on the show. I do think that she, in the very beginning, I think they were really good friends, and I think that it was a real thing. But as time went by, I think she just started using the friendship for what she could get out of it. And I think Nene slowly saw that. And Nene slowly saw that and then played her accordingly. And so here we are today.
Yeah.
Stop trying to play me.
Okay,
you know what it is.
Virginia.
That's the kind of vibe I get.
Virginia Island Finest says, yes, Felicia, you are keeping it 100. And we also got Lorraine says that she feels that Nene wanted to control Cynthia. So do you guys think that Nene wanted to control Cynthia?
I think it was an argument from the beginning. Yeah, I don't think it's not even friendship. Like I said, I don't think that Nene or Kenya or any of them see Cynthia as an equal when it comes in their friendship. I think they don't see her that way. They see her as a sidekick.
Yep.
And she lets herself stay in that position, and so that's the position they let her play. I think if she would take a bigger position and act differently, then they would act accordingly. But that's the position she took with everybody, but mainly them.
Okay, you
can't change what you are in the relationship in the middle.
We have Janice. Janice says, y'all full of it. Nene dog Cynthia the F out. QK says Cynthia doesn't care. She flips sausages outdoors. I can't.
Well, everybody got to tell you to their own opinion.
It's not true. We have held Nene accountable. Nene definitely
we have
for dirt. And
I hold everybody accountable because I don't know them ladies.
I think we all see Nene for what and the type of person she is. Absolutely. I don't think we've let her off. I think we've just been objective and kind of put it in understand and giving her a little bit of grace. Not saying that she's right and that that's the best way that she could handle things. Absolutely not. Nene does a lot of dirt. But in this situation, I feel for her a little bit more. And I understand why she's kind of being extra with this situation.
Yes, I agree.
Oh, yes. So we did the conversation. We talked about it. But let me just tell you this. I would be hurt if somebody was my friend for 10 years, even though we ain't friends no more. I lost my husband of 20-something years, and you show up a week later. If it was me, I wouldn't even meet up with you a week later. I'm good.
Well, that's why she showed up at the club, not at her house.
Yep. You should have showed. I think she should have went to her house where there was no cameras. There was nothing. There was no Lamar Odom. There was no Marlo Hampton drunk showing her new surgery off and shit like that. Should have been one-on-one and been like, yo, listen, this is the reason why I didn't come to the repast. This is what really happened. This is what I was going. This is what was happening inside of me. I was fighting between God and the devil at the same time. I was fighting my ego. I was fighting this. And I was just like feeling I had all these emotions. But I do believe part of Cynthia not having a peach has something to do with it as well. And all the ladies being there with Peaches and knowing that her and Nene's not in a good place. And then, you know, Cynthia loves Mike Hill, Nene shading Mike Hill in their marriage. You know, a lot of that shit, it went to heart. And then at the end of the day, Cynthia Bailey don't have a peach when she was supposed to have a peach on the show. So I think she has a lot of regret and probably a lot of anger towards a lot of people. We gonna see it. Cynthia Bailey looks like she's ready to tell it all. Cynthia, you gonna write a book? Are you gonna let us in on what you really think? God damn it, because you was ready to let it all hang out on that interview. Cynthia was like, we are not all in a good place with Nene, but we got together and put roses and we put Marlo in charge of the shit because we didn't have time. I was like, Lord, she didn't say we didn't have time. I just added that shit on.
Right. Yeah. Well, you did because I saw it. The, you know, politically correct, but
yeah, backtrack. That was all just backtrack. Cynthia knows what it is. And let's be clear, I think Cynthia, lightweight, she enjoys this. We ain't talked about Cynthia since what? She got kicked off?
Exactly.
What did you say, Miss T? She hasn't talked about Cynthia until she got kicked off. What are you talking about? What'd you say?
We haven't talked about Cynthia since she got kicked off the show, right?
That's right.
And now we're talking about her again, right? So.
Oh well, I talk about
okay. Any attention. Some people say any attention is better than no attention.
Okay, but
negative, positive.
Okay, let's say this.
What she needs to do is send Nene a big bouquet for putting her on the map. We're talking about her again.
Okay, well, but I would say this.
What kind of flowers she wants.
I would say I can't with y'all. I would say this in all fairness. If you check out my YouTube short videos, I have been keeping up with Cynthia. Cynthia is selling engagement rings. She's selling pillows for your hair and your makeup. And she also just did a photo. She also did a photo shoot for Media Magazine. She's on a cover.
What happened to the model?
I said she just did a photo shoot. She's on a magazine cover.
No, her school. What happened to the school? What happened to the kids?
I don't know.
The pageant school?
I can't with you.
Listen, what happened to the liquor store? What happened to the wine cellar? Yes, the liquor store. What happened to the liquor store?
Well,
she had the Coke 45 in that she was terrible. What happened to that?
I can't with you.
Do towels and hats. See, she robbing for real. She doing satin pillows instead of hats. Girl, bye.
I can't with y'all. But I'm just saying, I've been keeping up with Cynthia. Cynthia has a new, whatever wine cooler that she came out with from a major company. She got her own brand. She also do pop-up shops in Atlanta.
Oh, that Seagram's.
Yeah, Seagram's.
Yeah, that want to get away 1% alcohol thing. Yeah, I remember.
You could drink a whole 6-pack and still feel like you still thirsty.
Okay, Felicia, you're going to have to say that again.
Listen.
I said you could drink a whole 6-pack of them peach Bellini and still be thirsty, not drunk.
What happened to the sunglasses?
I can't with y'all. I can't. I can't.
You are right. I'm thirsty. I'm blinded by the sun. You right. I don't know how to walk like model. You right. What happened?
What happened to the backpacks? What happened to the backpacks?
Oh shit, the backpacks.
What happened to her hair? Is that wrong? Peter on the line. I have some.
I like.
What happened to that $172,000 that Peter had gave her? He owed her.
Bailey Lake.
He gave it to her.
Can I Airbnb her house or what's up with that?
I don't know.
I want to get by that lake.
Oh my God.
What you guys just described is Cynthia hustling like Peter, right? So they were meant to be together.
Yep.
Well, you guys, you know, there's a lot of jealousy there too. You know, there's a lot of jealousy. There's a lot of jealousy when it comes to Nene.
Cynthia can't really enough to be a hustler like Peter.
She can't be a hustler like Nene. Look at Nene, got a club now. Come on.
Y'all just shitted. Y'all just really shaded Cynthia so bad. What did happen to the book bags, though?
buffet's got the sunglasses in it with the models, and they walk into the corner store to buy some Court 45, some Seagum.
They go into the liquor store with that. Her liquor store.
They go into the liquor store. I hope it's not Sunday. Yeah, they go into the liquor.
Well, I know I'm from Mississippi. You can't buy liquor on Sundays. I had to go to Louisiana to get some liquor.
And don't go to the liquor store when Cynthia is there because she's not gonna know what wine should go with certain food.
Right, she gonna pair the wrong thing. She gonna give you a fish wine for that steak. That's what we need to know.
And then we know about Nene Boutique. She shut that down by the airport in Washington D.C.
I'm your friend, and I want to know.
Okay, hold on. Felicia had some interesting news. Go ahead, Felicia.
I said that we know that Nene Boutique got shut down in Washington D.C. Do she still got the one in Atlanta and Miami?
I know she got the one in Atlanta.
I know she. No, the one in Atlanta I think is online. Yeah, it's online. The one in Maryland is still there, and the Miami I'm not sure.
I think Miami went online. I think there's like only one or something left. Like a real store.
Maryland, yeah.
Because I know the one that she has inside the M.
You can still get it.
Yes.
There's one that she has inside the GM studio, the casino.
In Maryland.
But I don't know if you guys know who this guy is. His name is Choke No Joke, and he has a YouTube channel. And he goes and he films, and every time he goes and films around where Nene shop is always closed.
Is it because of the pandemic or what?
I don't know.
Yeah, it might be pandemic. I think it's pandemic. And everything is
and joke and what is it? Joke for no choke. I don't know. Choke for no joke. He used to be executive producer on Atlanta.
Yeah, I know.
Ooh, yeah. See.
Yep.
See.
And he was also at Gregg's repast too as well. He was there.
He was there. Yeah.
Was Carlos King there?
I don't think so. I don't know. I can't remember. If you look at my
do you have a list?
Well, I do have a video with everybody that was there, but that video was back in September. So it's on my Real Housewives drama playlist. You can find out who was at Gregg's repast. But offhand, y'all are too much. I can't.
Who brought a gift and what it was? Can we see all that?
Oh, see, I don't know about that. But let me ask you guys this question.
List? Price value?
I'm gonna ask all three of these guys this question. We'll start with Miss T. We'll go with Carla, and then we'll go with Felicia. Okay, there's somebody. I don't know if this is true. This is just pure gossip. Someone saying that Phaedra Parks is the one sending the health department to Candy Burris and always getting them scores.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
No, Candy's stuff is just nasty. No, on stuff that she tried to do, trying to do 7 things at one time. No, it was just nasty. And these prices are ridiculous for what you're trying to do.
And not only that,
in a strip mall.
And not only that, who charges for ice?
Ice? They charge for ice?
Yes. She charged for ice. In her restaurant, she charged for ice.
She said she doesn't. She said she doesn't.
She said what?
She said she doesn't charge for ice.
Yes, she did. And the guy had the receipt to show it. She charged $2 extra for ice.
But didn't they show something where the mold was like behind that drink station?
She said, hold on. She said that he got charged extra because it was a double pour.
How you gonna have a double pour $2 extra for some ice and he was drinking Hennessy on the rock? He should just got to spray out the bottle if he gonna charge $2 for ice. That's why she cover herself to clarify it.
Well, so think about it. So they're saying that Phaedra is connected in Atlanta and she's sending them people to candy shop, and that's why she keeps getting them low scores.
Now she messy. She is messy.
I'll put nothing past Phaedra, honey.
She messy. And that's
anything is possible. Anything is possible with Phaedra.
if it was clean when they did come, it wouldn't have been a problem. So it doesn't matter who sent them. The restaurant's still nasty.
They say that Phaedra Parks is sending the health inspector. She got all her people in the courthouse coming after Candy.
Well, whatever. Anything is possible.
Allegedly.
Candy moves too fast. She needs to get off of her Zoom tour, and then she can focus on that. Oh, and then
exactly. But did you guys see how Candy is trying to make her restaurant look relevant when she had Whoopi in there, right? Whoopi Goldberg in one of her restaurants.
Yep.
Which one was that?
She had them at the old lady gang. I did a video on it. Hold on 1 second. I did a video on that with Whoopi Goldberg, Candy Burris. It's on my Real Housewife drama playlist. But yes, Whoopi Goldberg was there eating banana cream pie, peach cobbler, and some yogurt. I don't know, some pudding.
I heard expensive. I heard that thing is expensive. Old lady gang is expensive for the portions you get. I heard that it's kind of like expensive for the portions, but okay.
Well, I heard she was trying to. I heard she was trying to compete with Nene's club by having Whoopi there because Nene get all the stars up at her club.
Oh, she wanted people to come to Blaze instead of Cynithia. So that people get sick instead of. Oh, okay.
Y'all are too. So all that's allegedly. But at the end of the day, Nene is mourning Gregg Leakes as she lost her husband, and anybody that was close to Gregg Leakes, close to Nene Leakes at the time, worked with them and filmed with them. And especially when it comes to Cynthia Bailey, she expected more from Cynthia Bailey. She expected a phone call. She expected something from her. And Nene said that in the interview with V103 that no, Cynthia wasn't calling her. Cynthia wasn't checking up on her. None of that. Sometimes death can bring people closer together, because I'm gonna tell you, my best friend at one point in time, my good friend I had a friend contract with, they lost their beloved husband, and I love their husband too as well. I would like Cynthia said in the interview that she did today, that she did it out of spirit of Gregg. She didn't do it out of anything with any loyalty to Nene. She did it out of the spirit of Gregg. So therefore, she didn't want to be bothered with Nene, in my opinion.
Okay, you didn't want to be bothered with Nene, but you stayed the whole night at the club till closing, right?
Yeah, you said free drinks and food, y'all.
Hell yeah, I'm saying.
Okay, so you could just leave. If it's not about Nene, so then you came, did what you had to do, show your respect, and then leave. No, but you stayed there till closing and helped close.
They were having a good time. They were having a good time. She was showing her support. And they were having a good time.
Hey, Candy girl. So, in any event, is this a good storyline for Cynthia Bailey return next season for Real Housewives of Atlanta?
I'm sorry, what?
She needs to find something else to do. Don't come back to Housewives.
Yeah, I'm sorry, what? You said something, but it didn't make sense.
Okay, I said, in any event, is this a good storyline for Cynthia to return back to the Real Housewives of Atlanta? Because she got up early this morning and jumped on the news and jumped in that interview and talked about Nene Leakes and addressed her. Is this a good storyline for next season if Cynthia...
No. Next. No. Okay.
That's why I bust out laughing.
No, you're not coming back. Why don't you try to get with Garcelle or somebody and be on one of those? Because you're in California right now, right? Don't worry about this. You stick to what you're doing and let us do. No, you're not getting back on the show. That's not enough. Because Nene's not even on the show. So there's still no controversy. I bring you back on to what? Talk about
how she felt hurt and betrayed by Nene at this time and moment.
Please.
That Nene betrayed her.
I don't care.
Y'all.
Wait. I'm a baby.
Y'all are hard. Y'all are hardcore.
I mean, I've seen everything. Literally, Cynthia, you've done a beautiful arc. We've seen you grow. We've seen you get married. We've seen you get divorced. We've seen you get married again. Like, we've seen it. We got it. It's beautiful. Let's put a bow on that. Live your best life. Absolutely. I don't need to see it. There's nothing else to show me. Nothing else I want to see. And you can't use Nene anymore because she's not on the show. So
that's right.
And clearly Kenya has showed you exactly where y'all stand. We all see that. So
yeah.
So and you turned down a friend position. So
that's it.
Now she would, if she would have kept that friend position, she would have had a storyline.
Yep.
That ego.
Yeah.
That ego.
Something else we would have had to watch. Mm-hmm. I will miss her wigs though, because she has some fierce ones. I will miss those.
What do you guys think about Phaedra Parks? I mean, not Phaedra Parks, but Sheree Whitfield returning. You think she gonna bring?
Gosh. That's a waste of time. Boring.
Can I get them fashions? She better. That's another one. I need. She buy Sheree summer, spring, fall, winter. I need that. I need to see something. Give me a shirt, a jeans, something, a purse, a sweater, something. Like I don't. What are we gonna talk about? You in prison, babe, the whole time? Like what are we doing? And what bone? I'm good. She doesn't have a story either. We've seen the house. Boring. God, you finally got it done. Yeah, you boring. I don't know what you need to show me. You could be a friend and come on one trip, and I'll be good. I'll be good. Unless you got some juice, and that's it. I'll be good. We can find somebody else. I don't need you on there either, to be honest with you.
No, I never cared for Sheree. She thought she was better than everybody there, especially Nene. She really thought she was better than Nene, and then Nene just surpassed her. And so I don't care for her. And then she was best friends with KKK Kim. And what has Kim done for you? And Kim hasn't done a damn thing for her. Nothing.
And that was what, season 1, season 2, girl?
Yeah.
You haven't done anything. I'm glad the house finally that your mama paid for. I'm glad you got the house done. I'm glad that all of that happened.
But I hear she doesn't live in it. She doesn't live in it. That's what I heard. I don't know. In an apartment with a blow up bed.
Stop it! Oh, because Prison May got a parole to that address. Is that what? Why can't we be in my house?
All right, Felicia, what do you think about Sheree returning?
Oh my God, just like I said once again, a third time supposed to be a charm, but that's gonna be a hot mess because Sheree don't have nothing going on. Just like I said yesterday, she thought when she first came on there, she thought she gonna be the breakout star. No, boo boo, Nene had beat you to the point. That's why you keep on going back and let Bravo make us a donkey out of you. And what happened to your fashion line, your spring, summer, fall? Your spring, summer, fall joggers. Where they at? I seen a pair online. That was a couple of years ago, like $85. I could buy a pair of Nike joggers that much, and that's name brand.
Oh my goodness, she's a waste of time. She's a waste of time. You know, she doesn't bring nothing to the table.
But she might have tea because she was out there in Africa with Simon when Portia wasn't around.
But that doesn't matter. Portia's not even on the show.
But
exactly. It means nothing to me. Portia dipped out because she said, yeah, you probably do know some stuff. Portia's not stupid. Portia's not stupid. She wasn't about to let them girls grill her for all season. So that doesn't mean anything, Sheree. You're pointless because Portia's not here.
What about her
storyline?
I don't know her kids. I know her son's supposed to be there, and everybody's happy to see her son Croy. He's so handsome. I know the ladies were talking about that.
He loves
he's handsome, but I hope he brings more to the table as well.
He's not gonna be able to bring enough for his mama to stay on the show. How many is he gonna show up every time she there? That's what I'm gonna need.
He's gonna have to have his shirt off, and he's gonna have to have on shorts.
He be playing basketball once in a while. Like he lucked up because his bless you. Keep it tight, son. Please, because it could go left for him real quick. So I'm glad that that's nice, but it still doesn't help his mom. What does that have? What is his mom got going on besides prison bay?
I guess how they going to adjust to society, I guess.
So Love Island.
Yep.
Exactly. Which is my show, but that's the whole.
Oh my goodness.
I don't want to see all these people. I wish they would have just taken their time and found some new, fresh faces that were really married and really doing it, and just started kind of fresh. Kept some Kenya and all of that, but bringing up these old people that we've already brought back again is exhausting and tiring. I mean, it didn't work the second time. Why do you think it's going to work this time?
Exactly.
I don't know why they bringing Sheree back. I was just so disappointed. They could have brought and give somebody else a chance. Shit.
They could have brought Neo Neo baby mama on the show. What's her name? What's her name? They could have brought her.
Oh, okay, his ex.
Yeah. Could have brought her on the show.
Yeah, Shabi, Shashana, something that's in the F. His ex-wife. But we need him. But I'm tired. I want somebody who's married, though. I want you to be married. I want you to be doing it. I want you to live up to what it used to be. That's what I want. I want to see a married housewife that's doing big things that I can't do because I have to pick a lane. I got to pick a choice, but she doesn't. That's what I want to see. And then she can be messy and bring some fashions, and yeah. I kind of want a Scala with a mouth. Like, I want you to talk. A Scala with personality. That's going to bring some fire. Yes, that would be good. That's what I want.
Yeah.
Do you think Peter Thomas is disappointed in Cynthia not showing up to?
Of course he is.
The repass.
Peter Thomas is disappointed in Cynthia. Period. Yeah.
All right.
Everything, whatever the question is, yes.
Oh, God.
I'm sure he was laughing about that wedding. I'm sure he's been laughing about all of this stuff with Nene. Matter of fact.
Oh, God.
Exactly. That's true. With Nene and Apollo.
Don't he supposed to have a party soon? Last week, the breakout for his parole party.
They still friends. How you think?
And they're good friends. Yeah. That shows you he knows that she's a very good friend. She's a very good friend.
And he was invited.
They bonded over Cynthia and how corrupt and sneaky she is. I am sure.
Mm-hmm.
But also, Nene Leakes invited Peter to come to her house before. Cynthia should have been there too. As well. Like, damn, how is her husband so close to Gregg and Nene and not Cynthia? Like, damn.
We're not friends anymore.
Yep.
So you can come to the real events. You don't need to come to my house. We're not friends. You just backtracked on me. We're not friends. So clearly that's why.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you didn't get invited. Now Peter is probably calling and talking because you know all of them, Apollo, Peter, and all of them, they were tight.
Yeah.
They were tight.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure that he stayed in contact periodically more than Cynthia has because again, we're not friends anymore, and that's a whole different situation. And I'm sure they bonded on Cynthia and how ridiculous and sneaky she is. So I can see why she would invite Peter and not invite Cynthia. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I know Peter's just shaking his head right now. Like, damn.
Makes sense for what we are. You just need to pick a lane. Cynthia made this worse by backtracking. Pick a lane. If Cynthia had just kept it what it was, I didn't go, stand in my truth, whatever, this would have been a different story. But because you backtracked and tried to make it look like something that it really wasn't, now it's a big old story and you jumped on because, again, you want the fame, you want somebody to talk about you. So you like you said, she jumped on Zoom this morning, put on a good wig, threw on the makeup and jumped on Zoom and had a bunch to say. We ain't heard Cynthia say nothing since the wedding. She just wants to,
Well, she got up early this morning for that interview, and she wasn't on Zoom. She was in person, girl. She was in person. She was in person. Snatch sitting up there with.
Where was that at?
Some show.
Right?
I don't know the name of the show.
It had to be. You know, she ain't leaving that party.
It was in Atlanta. It's that.
California.
Yeah, it was California. It was Lonnie Love and some other dude. I don't know who the dude is.
The other dude is friends with her, with Cynthia. They're friends.
Of course he is.
Particular thing ain't really about me.
Is this the one?
The
Let's
jab
see.
you gave me was weak.
Okay.
All right.
So we listen to Claudia
The
right
thing
now.
you said about
Okay.
your friend
Let me see. Okay, here we go.
was a low blow. I know you know about low blows and air mattresses.
I'm telling you, Claudia,
Blowing on
it
air
doesn't matter
mattresses.
what you.
So don't do
Girl, he ain't worried about you.
Okay, let me play. You guys are cussing this bitch out, and she just
that.
talking.
Don't do that to my friend. I will put my neck out there to defend someone that I think don't deserve it. Y'all seen that about me. I don't like that shit. And it's not cool. You know, don't be at events preaching women's empowerment and protect black women and then be a total cunt online with
We're talking about a feet again? What are we
you have
doing?
a lot more things I
But Claudia did something. Claudia jumped on Instagram and did something. Claudia did something. That's why Nene said, "Leave me alone, my stalker. Leave me alone. Leave me alone."
That's it. You're the stalker.
My soul is making stars. That is making everybody news anchors. Okay.
Oh boy.
Yep. So so you guys tell me your last words, and we're gonna call it a day. Go ahead.
Claudia needs to mind her business. That's what she needs to do. That's the first thing. Mind your business. Stay in your lane. And Cynthia and Nene one day will come together, and then they'll figure it out. They're grown women. I think this will die down. They'll die down soon, and they can move on with their lives.
That's a good point. Miss T?
I agree. Nene and Cynthia need to work this out behind the scenes. I'm good on hearing about it. I'm sorry that people were hurt and that your friendship is what it is. But like she said, we're grown women, so we need to figure it out. And I want you to do that without showing me. Figure that out off the scene. Claudia, that's it. Claudia.
Felicia?
Claudia.
Yes, Claudia get on my nerves with her colorist says she always gonna have her neck on Nene. Anything about what Nene was going on contained with Nene, she always gonna have something to say. She need to shut her doggone mouth. And Cynthia and Nene need to work on their own friendship without other people involved.
Anything else you ladies would like to add that you didn't add already because you done read? Everybody got read down equally.
Now that's it for me.
That's it. We were just being honest and keeping it real. Unfortunately, some people call that reading. I call that honest.
I call it reading. Reading, and then more reading.
What he said, subtle shade.
And Miss T, don't even play that bullshit. You know you was reading. You know you be out here reading down. Don't even play. Don't play, Miss T. We ain't trying to hear it. We ain't trying to hear that.
We're not trying to do that?
No, I don't read people.
You dragged. And Felicia, you dragged too. You just been nice today. You dragged too. Okay. Felicia drags too. Felicia was nice today, and Miss T jumped on the StreamYard dragging, so we don't want to hear it, Miss T.
No, Carla brought it to now.
Carla came with.
Don't do that. Don't give it off to me. Don't do that.
Okay, Carla came with the professional and then a drag down. She came like a teacher reading, and then she just pulled your hair and threw you out the window. That's what she did.
But in the corner, somebody's got detention. I know that's right. It's Thursday. This is what you get on a Thursday. It's not quite Friday. We're all a little bitter. We're all a little bitter.
Yeah.
It's weekend, but we can't touch it.
We can't touch it yet. And I appreciate each and every one of you. Carla, I appreciate you. Miss T, I appreciate you. And also Felicia Butler, I appreciate you. And everybody in the chat that came through and was down here, strapping for who they strap for. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. Y'all have a wonderful night. You guys have a good weekend. We might be live later on tonight. I don't know if I want to watch Mary's
MJ,
boot camp.
why didn't you go live and talk about this baby on Black Ink?
Oh, because I was gonna talk about it yesterday, but we was talking about too much shit. I couldn't even put it in. So with the Black Ink situation, when it comes down to it, it's just like, oh man, it was kind of boring. Only good part was what's her name? Charmaine, Andrea, and Miss Kitty going back and forth.
Kitty, that was excellent.
That was the only part of the show. And I was going to put that in the video yesterday, but, I got sidetracked. So maybe I'll do a little small video on that. But basically, it was just, I think Miss Kitty's going to come with a shop. I think Miss Kitty and Andrea's going to have their own Black Ink. They're going to have their own shop. They have to.
Third City. What they call it? Third City Ink or something.
And then I can't believe C's and Ryan sitting there talking cash money shit about Miss Kitty. That's why I don't know if she had sex with both of them. This is why you don't have sex with men that are friends, because at the end of the day, they're going to talk about your kitty cat and try to make you feel bad about giving them some nookie.
Yeah. She spread it a little too
She
thin.
said she didn't. She said she didn't, but she said she didn't. She said that they were she said that, her storyline with C's was make believe. They never was in a relationship. And she said she never had sex with Ryan.
Ryan at that bar. She was bitter because he wouldn't acknowledge that she was there. That was all for the cameras.
She said it was fake. I'm trying to rock with Miss Kitty. Because I know I have seen that shit happen to women where they have sex with these guys and they supposed to be beef, and at the end of the day they come back together and dog you out. And they even got Charmaine is there talking cash money shit about Miss Kitty.
Oh yeah, Charmaine kicked it off.
And then
Claudia, what's wrong with Claudia's face?
Oh, I just paused it.
She looked like she got Botox in her face. She should have got it in her neck instead of her face.
Mary, we appreciate you too. And I'm going to get off this live because we had a good time. I know I did.
Yeah, we had a good time. Yeah, we had a good time. Let's do it again.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, Carla, thank you so much. I appreciate you.
All right.
Bye, y'all.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So in any event, when it comes down to Miss Kitty, Caesar is going to be on the next episode talking about Miss Kitty is no brand ambassador. She's no this. It's like poor Miss Kitty is getting read out there for filth, and these guys are just stumping all over her, Lord. It's a sad situation. Anything else, Felicia?
No, I don't have anything else to say. I don't watch Black Ink Crew. I haven't watched that show in years. I don't like Caesar and I don't like Ryan.
All right. Amen. All right. You have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye. So, yeah, I was going to talk about it yesterday. I feel bad for Miss Kitty because now she going to have Ryan. She got C's and she got, Charmaine basically getting at her, and she's getting the short end of the stick. The short end of the stick. Lord have mercy. What you saying? Miss Nina Bug, that is Claudia Lane. I wish she told us if Simon was the married man who brought Portia the car a couple of years ago. No, it was I actually did a video on that, Miss Nina Bug, and it was actually this other guy. They say he's Simon's cousin, then they say that he's not related to his cousin. So we got to see the paperwork. But in any event, yes, Portia done skeeted out with her own show for now, y'all. Claudia is pretty. Yes, I am still waiting on Candy from season 3. Well, I don't know. You're gonna be waiting for a long time. Lord have mercy. So in any event, Miss Kitty, we got to talk about Miss Kitty and what she's going through. And then Charmaine just lost her father, so it's just like it's a whole, it's like, damn, it's like what you see back in the day, when your friend messed with this one and that, two guys, and they were beefing up from the opposite side of town, and then boom, bada bing, they end up getting cool, and what they do is just talk about your cat and talk about you in front of everybody, and basically sometimes they will even put their hands on you, or the girls that is messing with them would try to fight you at the same time. So this situation was like, damn, Kitty is like stuck in between a hard place and a mother sucking rock. Lord have mercy. She said she didn't sleep with them, but Ryan said he slept with her. I gave you guys the proof, of what he said. She said it never happened. It's only for TV. So I'm just going to try to rock with Miss Kitty. You know what I mean? She said she ain't never slept with Caesar either. But in any event, it is what it is. Thank you guys so much for coming through. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Please like, comment, subscribe, share the video. It'd be greatly appreciated. I'm sorry for the technical difficulties that I had earlier. As you see now, I put Claudia Jordan on the screen and the video works. But when I had Nene on the screen, it wouldn't work. I was like, then there was no sound. Like, what's going on, stream, y'all? You're already taking my paper. You're taking my cheddar. And I can't get service. Okay? Peace and love to all my peeps and my peoples. Peep Squad. Thank you guys so much for holding me down. I appreciate y'all staying and working with me through these technical difficulties. I love you guys. Love each and every one of y'all. Y'all my family. Fam, Peep Squad.